Happy Monday, Rax readers. Mrs. Kennison here with you for Lesson 4. This presentation is going to cover our Lesson 4 today, and also it's going to have your assignment for Tuesday. So let's jump right in. We're going to be reading the rest of Chapter 1 for Miami Jackson Makes the Play. You're going to need the same materials and supplies that you did on last week's lessons, because you're going to just be adding to those charts that you wrote into your notebook. So we're going to be adding to our humor chart, and we're going to be adding to our vocabulary chart. So again, those fast fingers to be able to keep up with the presentation as it goes along, and your sense of humor, because today we're going to learn about 2 more types of humor. So let's talk about our lesson goals. Types of humor. You remember on Friday we learned about hyperbole, and that was an exaggeration of something that was bigger or smaller than it actually was. Well, today we're going to learn about verbal irony and sarcasm. So we're going to be looking for those types of humor in the story while we're reading it. We're going to continue to practice our context clues by learning some new vocabulary, and we're going to be making some inferences while we read. Here's a type of humor chart. Okay, when you look at this, I have arrows pointing to the 3 types of humor that we're going to be focusing on. Again, I already reviewed hyperbole. Let's look at sarcasm and verbal irony. Well, verbal irony is when words suggest the opposite of the actual meaning. We're going to be watching a video to help us understand this concept a little bit better. And you're going to see an example of the weather. So if I'm outside and it's raining and it's cold and it's dreary and I go, "Wonderful weather we're having." Do I really mean that we're having wonderful weather? No, of course I don't. But it's just, so my words were an opposite of what's actually happening in the situation. Well, sometimes verbal irony can sound like sarcasm. Well, the only time that it's really sarcasm, you can tell by the person's tone. Sometimes if your verbal irony is just situation, it's not sarcasm. But when you use a tone of voice, or you're trying to hurt somebody's feelings or make somebody look bad, that is usually sarcasm. So verbal irony and sarcasm can be very similar. But if you pay attention to this video that we're about to watch, I think you'll be able to tell the difference the next time you see them in the story. So let's go ahead and go right to that video. I'm going to minimize me and get me out of the way. Unfortunately, we do.
Grammarly does more than catch errors. With Grammarly, you can find really good,
And here we go. So this is going to help you understand verbal irony and sarcasm.
Great weather we're having. Awesome job. You're a tremendous athlete. Compliments, right? Well, maybe. Depending on the attitude and tone of voice behind these lines, they very well may be compliments. They may also be, though, pointed and attacking lines. This slight change of attitude behind the lines reveals what we call verbal irony. So when someone says, "Great weather we're having," it is quite possible that person really means that. If the sun is shining, the birds are singing, and the wind is calm. But if the weather is horrible, the clouds are looming, and the wind is a raging tempest, and someone says, "Great weather we're having," he probably doesn't actually mean that. He probably means that the weather is horrible, but he has said the opposite. This is verbal irony, when the speaker says the opposite of what he means. I know what you're thinking. Isn't this sarcasm? Isn't the speaker being sarcastic? Yes. When a speaker says the opposite of what he means, that is verbal irony. When the speaker then goes the step farther to mean the opposite of what he says and seeks to be a little pointed and mean, like he's making fun of something, then you have sarcasm. Take the second example. Awesome job. Someone accomplishing his lifelong dream? Awesome. Someone winning a sports championship? Awesome. Someone rear-ends another car? Not awesome. So when the passenger says, "Awesome job," they probably mean the opposite with a hint of poking fun. That is verbal irony, and that is sarcastic. "You're a talented athlete," said to an Olympian. Authentic. No verbal irony present. Said to the klutzy kid tripping into English class and spilling his books and pencil case all over the room. Now that's just harsh and verbally ironic, because what you said is not what you meant. That is verbal irony. You have said the opposite of what you mean. Additionally, since you have the intention of mocking this poor person, you have been not only verbally ironic, but sarcastic as well. Beware, though. While all sarcasm fits the definition of verbal irony, not all verbal irony is sarcastic. Verbal irony is where what is meant is the opposite of what is said, while sarcasm adds that little punch of attitude. There are times, though, where another layer of meaning can be present without that sarcastic tone. All right, now go out there and find those examples of verbal irony and sarcasm. Good luck. No, seriously, I mean it. Good luck. No, really, I truly want to wish you luck on this difficult task. Okay, sincerely, good luck. You can do it. No verbal irony here.
Okay, hopefully that helped shed some light on what those two types of humor actually look like and sound like. All right, so back to our presentation. It's going to be your turn to read. I have included pages 11 through 18 as we go through this presentation. Again, just like we did last week, you're going to pause them to be able to read each page as you get to it. This is an error. We're not going to stop at the top of page 11. We're going to stop at page 18. While you're looking through, you're going to be trying to find examples of verbal irony, sarcasm, and hyperbole, and you'll add those to your chart. Okay, so what is our assignment going to look like for the next couple of days? Well, we have it outlined right here. All right, so today you're going to look for those examples of hyperbole, verbal irony, and sarcasm, and you're going to add them to your what was funny chart. Then you're going to be looking for these 4 words while you're reading and add them to your vocabulary chart. Now, if you find any additional ones that tripped you up or you didn't know the meaning of them, I want you to add them to your chart as well. But definitely add these 4 because these are words that I'd like you to add and find the meanings of. So on page 11, the word wolfing, page 13, arch rivals, page 15, policy, and page 18, unanimous. Now, you actually have 2 days to do these assignments. You'll have to have them turned in by Tuesday. On Tuesday, I'm also going to give you 2 assignments in your iReady reading. You're going to see 2 teacher assigned lessons, and those are going to be on context clues. So when you log into iReady, you'll see a blue box that says assigned by the teacher, and you're going to want to click on those and do those as part of your iReady minutes. Okay? So I hope that you're enjoying the story, Miami Jackson Makes the Play. It is in the humor genre, so you shouldn't have any trouble finding examples of that. What is funny? I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.